Hi guys, it's Jessica here for some updates. Lots and lots and lots of Dolly updates. It seems like a lot anyways. Maybe it won't be so much once I get through it, but some really fun stuff. And it was, sorry, Lola was going through there and bumping the tripod, but it was a very busy week and a very difficult week. I had a 6-day work week, and in the middle of that, Olive has been really sick. This is my little old lady French bulldog. She just turned 10 in January, and she's a very tiny midget among midgets. She's always had health problems. She's very undersized, so she has an undersized liver, and so she's always just been a little bit delicate. Just don't tell her I'm not delicate. I'm a tough girl. She is a 100-pound dog in a little 18-pound body. She's just feisty and she has so much character, but she's been really sick the last few days, and she's been having this problem for probably the last year or so, where has some pretty severe outbreaks of loose stools, blood. So she's had a bunch of testing, and so far we haven't been able to figure out what the cause is. It's been about a year since her last ultrasound, so especially if this isn't resolving, it usually resolves, you know, in a week or so, and it's just supportive care to get her through it. She's doing really good. I mean, she's doing better than she did the last outbreak she had. Like, she's still eating, she's playing, but you can see she's wearing her little baby onesie with a diaper, because it's just kind of uncontrollable. And I've been coming home to some pretty bad disasters. Yeah, so it's interfering with my sleep, which is one of the biggest migraine triggers for me, is not getting good rest. So it's definitely been a rough week, and I've got today and tomorrow off, and it is just not enough. It's just not enough. I could sleep. I slept till 10 this morning, which is just not normal for me. I mean, if I'm sleeping past 7, I just feel really guilty. Yeah, so a couple days to try to get back with it. So that's a little Olive. Yeah. You want to go back down here. So lots of fun Dolly stuff though, and there you go. Today actually got in something that was supposed to be, it was mailed. It was 2-day priority mail, and it was mailed, I think, on the 2nd. No, it was supposed to arrive on the 2nd. And today's the 8th, and it just got here. So, but I'll show you all of that. So Dango came in today, and I just did the box opening before I did this video. I wanted to do kind of a standalone video because this updates video is gonna be pretty long probably. But I put a pin in there just to kind of make it fit a little better, because it's kind of big on her. This is a crochet hat that I made for one of my other really small dolls, but look how big it is. So I've got it tied there. But I think what I'll do with her, and I put these, they look like Birkenstocks. I just freaking love these. So I think they look a little more earthy, and I think that's That's the vibe I'm getting for her. She's not like posh. She likes to wear stuff that's a little more earthy, and she probably likes to go hiking. Yeah, look at her little adorable face. This is so cute. So cute. I'll probably do something similar to what I did for, this is my little, actually a pretty good, an interesting comparison, because this is my Lily Cat Colleen, and she's a little mature tiny. I guess I consider her a mature tiny. I think compared to Dango here, she's definitely a lot more dollish. The size of their heads are very similar, but her eyes are way bigger, and I never was able to find eyes small enough for her. I made her these eyes out of some blue Swarovski crystals, but it is an interesting comparison. And I made her this hat wig thing like the first day that I got her, and it's a knitted, no, it's the tip of a glove, and I sewed some Teeswater wool to it, and made her a wig. And then I added the ears and the horns, the antlers, a lot later, but this has been her wig. These homemade eyes and this homemade wig, I've had her for probably a good 2 years now, and that's what she, oh, that video is ready to go. That's what that ding was. That's Dango's video. But I'll probably do something really similar for her, and it works really good. I remember at the time I was like, oh, this is temporary, I'll find her, get her something else. And I have tried other things, and I don't like it as well. So there's been lots of sewing, and one of the things that I do in the evenings to kind of declutter my mind and relax is I work on some sewing. And so remember I'd gotten that fabric from Kiwi Nonmori? I know I'm going to say it wrong. She sent me the extra fabric so that I could make my own clothes out of it, and I made this yukata, that was the word I was looking for. So basically a short, instead of the long kimono that goes to their feet, it's shorter. And the sleeves are, you know, they're not as big as, and they're smaller and more manageable too, because it's supposed to be, the tradition is that these are worn in the summer when it's warmer, and they're made out of lighter fabrics or cottons, and that they're a lot more less formal in some way. But I used this fabric that she had sent me, and she sent me a lot of extra of this ribbon, which is this embroidered ribbon, which I just love, love, love. And I paired it with this dark burgundy wine red satin fabric that I had. It's the same that I made, that corset that I made for Scarlett. And this, it fits her really good. I had actually made it to fit Feeple 60 body. But this just really, this is Monster de Nu, by the way. I introduced this head in my last video. This is a head that is hand casted by Miss Monster, and always wanted one, well, for the last 2 years, for de Nu's monster form. So it has soul in her body for now. But I really like how this turned out. I was actually just really happy with how it came together. The obi is just really simple. It's just, I went ahead and I made a really wide band, and then I folded that in half, and then I doubled that up on itself so that it looks, because they do have a very complicated way that they fold these, and what I want to do is, you know, they have this complicated bow thing that they'll put on the back of the obi, which I'm sure there's a special word for, but I don't know what it is. And so I wanted to make maybe a mock one of those, because the actual tying of those is very complicated. There's a guy that's his job, he ties obies. That's like his official designation, is obi tire. And it's really interesting. So the idea is that I wanted this to look like a faux sleeve. So I don't know, it keeps it light so that it's not too heavy. But yeah, this fabric, I'm in love with this fabric, and I do have a little bit left. I don't think I have enough to make a whole nother, even with this being shortened and not a full length kimono. These really eat up a lot of fabric. So there's Monster de Nu. I made another one, and let me grab. So this is the other one that I made, the second one that I made, and Amelia is wearing it. She's wearing a pair of shorts that I made, and then she's wearing a Raucan corset under that. And I had actually made this for another doll that was supposed to arrive that day that I made this, and she didn't. She came today, and I'll be showing her pretty soon here. But I'm really happy with how this one turned out. And I'm just really happy with Amelia overall. The day that I finished this, this wig came in, and I had ordered this wig to potentially use for Alicia, or Alyssa, sorry, Alyssa, my doll Chateau Christina that's been dyed purple. But Amelia was sitting there, and I don't think I'd quite finished this yet. I hadn't quite. I was still working on it, but I had tried it on her, and then I put this wig on her. And then these are, who did I steal these from? They are an older pair of doll bakery eyes, and they're very large. I think that they're 16 millimeter. I don't think they're 18. I think they're 16. I think I had these in my Delph Miu, actually. And I had some pink, sparkly Oscar doll eyes in her. I've had some brown eyes. I've had such a hard time finding the look that I wanted and the style that I wanted for this girl. Even though she is and was a doll that I really wanted. She's a Jury 05, and she's the first jury. She's a CP Delph. So she's just really, really special. And she has a face up that's kind of worse for wear, but I still really love it. It's by Angel Toast. It's a really gorgeous face up. And I think she looks nice in brown eyes, but when I put these blue eyes in her and then gave her this mohair wig, like, I just feel like, oh, I felt like I got a new doll, and that's always a fun feeling. Like, she totally just, I was so excited. I was just so excited and happy about how I felt about her. And then gave her this yukata that she's wearing with a pair of jean shorts, and this I know they have a name for it because they make these for people, but this is, I'd been looking for these for years, and the only thing that would be better is if it was in this teal. If I had these headphones in the teal color, that would be even more amazing. But I've been looking for years and years, and this is the first I ever saw on the secondhand market. So she's got it. She's got one of the heads that's big enough to fit it, because it's pretty big. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with, and I was so excited to be able to use this ribbon. I kind of bought this ribbon on a whim when I was buying some other lace for the corsets I was making. Didn't really have anything specific in mind for it, but it was just too beautiful to pass up. And so it got used on her obi. So very happy with this girl. Amelia is, and I've had Amelia for quite a long time now too, a couple of years. So she's definitely the oldest ball jointed doll that I have in my collection. She's on a Feeple 60 body, so it's a newer body, but the head is a Lutz CP Del from 2005, Jury 05, and so is that 13 years ago? As far as like modern day ball jointed dolls, resin ball jointed dolls, she's vintage. But I just really love her. I really, she's very, very doll. You know, she's not a realistic face. But I really love her. And she shows off these eyes. These eyes are just perfect for her. So again, I'm just really, really happy with how she came together and how this happened. So I made those two yokatas, one that I'm, that's in progress, not finished yet. It's 75% done, I would say. So it's this, a doll was wearing it, it's just that's wearing that Rami fiber, so it got Rami fiber all over it. So it's got, green satin to complement it, and so I haven't finished the sleeves. The sleeves need to be sewed down. The faux sleeve needs to be finished sewed down into it. I need to make and I need to make an obi, you know, the belt to go with it. And so I left this, I started some other projects and didn't come back to this one because I was so excited to move on to this next project. And I really, one of the things that I would really like to make for my dolls, that I always would, I wish I had more jackets, coats and jackets. Those are some of the things that I look at, and they're usually generally pretty expensive because they're more complicated than, say, just a regular shirt, especially the nice ones that are lined and everything else. You know, a nice doll jacket can be easily $45 or more, especially for, you know, some of the brands like TTYA and 99 style, and even Alice's collections, which, you know, they have pretty inexpensive clothes as far as, you know, especially when you compare them to places like 99 style and TTYA. They're a lot less expensive, but their jackets are still, their jackets and sweatshirts and those sorts of things are you know, 35 and up. And they have some that are even, that I was like, oh, I want to get that. Oh, $65. Okay. So, I decided to really kind of get more serious about sewing the kind of jacket that I wanted. And so, I got some patterns, I watched some tutorials, and this was the first one that I made. And the pattern, I used an American Girl pattern, and then of course adjusted it a lot. But just kind of for some of the directions. I really like American Girl. A lot of the patterns that are like on Etsy, they have a lot of pictures, they explain things, and if I'm sewing something that I'm really unfamiliar with, so I went through and I did it the way that they described, and there's some things that I would do differently because I have sewn some more formal collared jackets, you know, like men's jackets types of things, that go with more like a suit, and but I handled the lining the way they suggested, and there's some parts of the things that they taught that I really liked, but there's some things from the other methods that I've used that I like too. So, you know, I'm always studying and always learning, and there's more than one way to do things, and so I do, you know, reading, you're like, oh, I already know how to do that thing. Well, they might do it a little bit different or explain it in a little different way, that makes it easier, or something you hadn't thought of, and you look at it with different eyes as you, so I already knew how to do the lining, but they did it slightly different, which was interesting. So it's, the one thing that the pattern didn't have, and I couldn't find a pattern for, so I just kind of did some tutorials to figure out how to do it, was the welt pocket. And it was definitely really difficult. The thing that made it really difficult was that I didn't have any, they call it infusion or fusion. It's the iron-on stuff to make so that the fabric doesn't fray when you cut it. And so I used this brocade. This is actually a fabric that Miss Mantis, my friend, she sent this with me. She sent this with Alyssa, and sorry, I'm trying not to bump Olive down there. But she sent me this fabric. She sent me a bunch of different fabrics, but so I'll take this off. So the welt pockets were really difficult because of all the problems I had with fraying. And so I definitely, you know, it was late at night, and I really, you know, I wanted to sew a welt pocket, and I'm reading all these patterns and tutorials, and they say to use the lining fusion stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't have that. So I went without it. Isn't he amazing? He is such a handsome doll. But so one of the big things, you know, with tackling this jacket, the other big thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to sew a zipper. I was like, I have never put a zipper in anything. I've never sewn a zipper. It always freaks me out and I chicken out. And I was like, I'm going to make this jacket and I'm going to put a zipper in it. I'm going to do it. And you can see that I didn't. I kind of chickened out at the end. I didn't think it was good enough to waste a zipper on. And because these damn zippers, I didn't realize that I bought several of them at Joann's, and I got some other fabric, and why is this, I didn't look at it till I got home, how freaking expensive, how much money I'd spent. It was way more than I thought that I did. And the zippers were $5 a piece for these like little cheapo zippers. So I definitely need to do some shopping online and try to find some cheaper zippers because, and I bought like 5 of them because I thought, I looked at the price, and I obviously I looked at it wrong because I thought it was like $1.50 or something, not $5, and I just like grabbed a bunch of them. Like, I might take those back because that's, it irritates me so much that they were $5 and they're just really cheap and plasticky and like, Joann's. But I do like how the welted pockets turned out. It's fully lined and I think it turned out really nice. I had some cotton fabric that I think I was worried was going to be that it was too small, but for this scale the ribbing is just right. It was just right. So I think once I finished it, it did turn out not too bad, and I think, I don't know how much trouble it would be to go back in and put a zipper in. And so this fits, it fits my Agati doll, it fits my Min Ingenue pretty good. It's pretty big and oversized on my minifees. So I would like to work on this pattern so that my minifees could have some. So, and then I wanted to make one that was a little bigger, so I fooled around with the pattern, and this is the second one that I made, and Pieta is modeling it. I had actually, my intention was to make this to fit the Feeples, the Feeple 60 body, and it definitely turned out. I sewed the lining first, because that's a lot of times what I do is I'll sew the lining first, and then I can tell from there like how the sizing is going to work for the doll that I want it to work, because the lining is pretty quick to sew, you know, compared to all the detail work with the external shell. But obviously that didn't work out, so I'll have to adjust it. But zipper, my first zipper, this is my very first zipper. She's not wearing anything underneath this, so dolly nudity. But zipper works. And so I'm really proud of myself that I put in a zipper for the first time. And I even did put in a zipper placket, which is this little shield that's supposed to help, you know, so that the lining, you know, when you're going to put a jacket on or something and the lining gets stuck in it, it's supposed to, that's the purpose of a placket, is to help keep that from happening. And I really like how it looks. I think it looks really nice. But I don't know, like, I don't know, other people might think it's kind of weird, but I really, really liked pairing these two fabrics. And I love, this was the other thing, was that I wanted this jacket to be a raglan style sleeve, so that I could use different fabrics, because I really like how that looks. And it definitely makes it a lot more complicated with the neckline and trying to alter it, but I really, really like the two fabrics paired. And yeah, I mean, so it definitely, it would fit a lot of my boy dolls, I think, pretty good. And it fits her not too bad. It's maybe a little oversized for a twiggling body, but I'll take it off of her so you can see it. And this, I thought, oh, these welt pockets are going to be easier because it's, you know, it's almost twice as big as the other jacket. But oh my gosh, this fabric was so terrible to work with. The whole time I was cursing this fabric, and it definitely would have made things a lot easier if I'd had that fusion stuff. But I do think there's lots of things that I need to work on. This is a really hard part. It's where the zipper down here joins, and then getting, you know, this is a tricky spot, and you can see it's just not quite perfect there. But it's fully lined, sleeves are fully lined. Yeah, I'm really, yeah, the pockets, they work. And part of the thing that was making these pockets difficult for me is that I really wanted to have this curved shape, and but I don't know how to do that. I mean, welt pockets and all the tutorials that I'd seen and looked at, welt pockets are always rectangular. And so you can see, because I wanted this to be rounded, and then you see the gap. But it's a fully lined pocket. Fully lined, and it looks like I should have taken a picture of like what a mess it was on the inside. That's the nice thing about lining things, is like cover all that up. So I'm really proud. You know, I know there's lots of things that aren't quite perfect and that sort of thing, but I'm pretty proud of it. There's a lot of things here that that I had never done before, and the welt pockets, the zipper, the lining. So I've done lining before, but this was a new method. So, but yeah, and the zipper. This is one of the things that always scared me so much about zippers was. Oh, I have to tell this story too. I have to tell this story. Okay. So, the other thing that I learned is that there are different kinds of zippers. This was not something that was in my realm of consciousness. So there are zippers that unzip and separate. That's a separating zipper. So there's that type, and then there's the other type that don't separate. And I had bought a bunch of other zippers previously that I've had forever because I've just always putting in the zipper, but they don't separate. So I don't think they call them non-separating zippers. They just call them a zipper or whatever. But those are the kind of zippers that go, say, in a pair of pants, in a dress, something like that. But they don't separate. I mean, it stays there. And so that was what I did too, was that I tried to put in one of those zippers, and I couldn't. I'm like, like, how do I get this to come apart? Oh, it's not meant to come apart. So, so I don't know. I feel really dumb now, but I just, you know, it was not something that I'd ever thought through, you know, that there was a difference, that there's a difference. Let's see if I have one over here to show. Of course, now I can't find it. Yeah. I was going to try to show you. This is one of the this was one of the separating ones. And it says it right there. It says that it's a separating zipper. And then the other ones, if they don't say anything, then they're the kind that don't. But it has to specifically say separating. But that was the other thing I learned, was because obviously this is 10 inches. I had to learn how you shorten the zipper for whatever you're using it for. But I definitely feel a lot more confident now about using zippers. Now I just need to find a less expensive source. This doll jacket with a $5 zipper in it. Like, I don't know how people make any money sewing doll clothes. Like, I could just imagine doing a commission for this, and like, you know, it takes 20 hours to do, and the zipper's $5, and by the time you're done with it, you've paid them $10. Yeah, there's no money in making doll clothes, that's for sure. So, okay, how far are we in this? A long ways. Okay, so I do have more things. So there was a doll, like I said, there was this doll that had taken, it was a doll head, and it was supposed to be here on the 2nd, and the shipping didn't even update. It was coming from Houston, Texas, and it you know, it just had an alert on it that it was still in transit. Like, that never bodes well. Like, okay, what's going on? Tracking did update a few times, so it wasn't lost, but it definitely took its time. And when it arrived this morning, and let me grab the box so that you can see what it looked like. Try to cover up the address. So this is the box. This is how it was on my doorstep. So I don't know what they did to that thing, but thank goodness everything turned out okay. And I'm going to, some more dolly nudity here. This is a nude doll. It's a head, and I'm just gonna bring her up here and show you. So, this is a Supia doll Muriel head, and beautiful face up, and a beautiful Amadiz wig. This so the seller gave the option to buy this wig along with the doll, and it was an amazing price. The head was a great price, the wig was an amazing price. This is my first Amadiz wig and my first Supia doll. And this isn't a Supia doll body. This is a Fairyland Feeple 60 Moe body, and it's a beautiful hybrid. Beautiful hybrid. And this is what I was hoping for. And I can't remember now if I mentioned this in my other videos that I was wanting to do this or had been contemplating it. I'm not sure if I talked about that. But this is a hybrid I've been wanting to try out for a while. So I've had it. It's been on my wish list since I got into the hobby, that I love Supia dolls, and wanted to eventually have Supia dolls too. Things that held me back were the body. Heard a lot of not so great reviews on the body, and then they remade the body, and so I was a little more tempted again. The downfall was it was taller than I wanted. It was a 65 centimeter girl body, and my twiggling girls can be 65 centimeters, but everybody else needs to be shorter or they're not coming home. So I really like this 57, 60 centimeter size for my girls. They look so cute with 75-centimeter guys. But so the other thing was I really, really loved Supia Doll's dark tan. It was their default tan color. And I do kick myself that I didn't get one, because now they have discontinued their dark tan. And I'm a little still sad about that. There was a Supia Doll Rosie on the marketplace in the dark tan for a not too bad a price, but Supia Doll Rosie is like one of the only ones I really don't want. I like these are the ones like the Muriel, the Ariel. This is that kind of really classic Supia Doll aesthetic. They all look really similar. Rosie is one that actually looks very different compared to them. And she's beautiful. She'd be a good, and she definitely has very Asian features. I think she'd be really, I did contemplate and think about her for Kian too, because of the Asian look to her features. But anyways, they didn't offer that dark tan anymore. So I was like, well, screw it. I'll get ahead and make a hybrid then, because I didn't get one to make a hybrid before, because the dark tan, like trying to match that with another body, like you just have to get the whole doll. But now that that was off the table, I went ahead with this hybrid, which I had been thinking about and wanting to do for a long time. That's Lola. She's right here snoring. Yeah, that's snoring. So I am over the top. I am so happy, so happy with this hybrid. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous hybrid. The neck mobility is perfect. The resin matching is amazing. Like this is, you know, and it's always, you know, especially when you have an older body or whatever. I'm not sure what year this Feeple body is from. It's not terribly old. You know, it's probably not more than 3 years. It's probably younger than that. Younger. But isn't she just freaking gorgeous? So I love the Feeple 60 Moe body. Love it, love it. It's a gorgeous poser. It's a beautiful body. I do need to go in and do that mod. Fitzwig did that mod on his, and because that's the one thing I don't like about these dolls, and it's the mini Feemoes and the Feeple 60s, is you can even see when her leg comes up here. So she they always kind of tip back. So I want to go in and sand that curve a little bit more so that they can sit more squarely. That's my only complaint about the body, really. It's my only complaint. But yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. So beautiful. Her face up, I don't know if this is an original Supia doll face up. It's really gorgeous. It's a super gorgeous face up. And so of course I have the elf ears on her. I've got the the human ears too. The human ears. And I think they're blushed. Maybe not. Maybe the human ears aren't blushed. But I'm probably going to, I won't super glue them, but somebody's car alarm. Because I've knocked these ears off a million times already, and I don't want them to freaking get lost. One thing that, I don't know what the heck they did with this, but it's kind of, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of rusted. The magnet there is kind of rusted, and it's definitely rusted on here. You can see that. So I don't know if they like soaked her head or something and the magnets rusted. But yeah, I think I'm going to just even some white glue, so that I don't lose those ears. I love it. Like, these are awesome, awesome elf ears. And I feel like I never see Supia dolls with their elf ears on. I'm an elf ear person. Isn't she gorgeous? And this wig, I'm so in love with this wig. So this is my first Amadiz studio wig. Pretty sure this is Angora, because it's got the waviness. These wigs, I mean, these are like $150 wigs. And I think they sold it to me for $40. I'm gonna take it off so I can show you the inside, because I think it's interesting. And I think that they sew their wigs. Yeah, so I think that they sew all of their wigs. But this is flexible, you know, it's not rigid, and you can see that it's a sewn head cap, and then it's got their little, I have got one on order, and they had like a 10% sale, so I went ahead and ordered one back in, I want to say December, but I asked them, I just recently, this last week or so, asked them like how much longer before my wig is coming, and they said it won't be ready until February. So it was still January then when I asked them that, because they said next month in February. So because I think it's just their wait time has gotten longer and longer, you know, first they, you know, oh, 2 months, and then, oh yeah, this is sewn, you can see it. 2 months, 3 months. So I ordered that in November, and they're saying February. So there is a really long wait time, but this kind of makes me want to put an order in for another one. This was always one of those things that I swore I was never going to do. And I can't remember who made these eyes. I think that these are urethane eyes that Tales from the Shrike made. I have a few of their eyes. They're really nice. I'm pretty sure that they made these. Maybe it was Sin's doll. I love their eyes too. I love them. Every pair that I've ever gotten from either of those two have just been gorgeous. Very well made. Beautiful colors. Yeah. The only thing, I thought I would steal this wig for somebody else, but I do love the face up, and now the more I look at it, the more I like it, because I was thinking when she was coming that I was going to wipe it and send her to get a more dramatic, with more purples and pinks in it, but I'm really, like I said, the more I look at it, the more, it's very delicate work. The eyelashes, the eyebrows have really fine little hairs, just really, really fine work. Yeah, so love her. She's wearing, and I think I've shown these before, these are Code Noir shoes, and she can wear, the Feeple 60 body can wear these, but only with the heeled feet. Oh, so the other thing that I would like to do Supia doll related is their new tan. So I was really disappointed that that they're not going to have that beautiful dark tan anymore. Their new tan is much lighter, but on the screen anyways, it looks like it might be a good match for Fairyland Tan. So at this point I haven't seen any owner photos for the new tan. I don't know if anybody has any of those dolls yet. It's very new, so there might not be any out there yet. But I would love to see how that compares with Fairyland Tan, because that would be an awesome hybrid. I would love to have a tan Supia doll on a tan Feeple Moe body, because that's another thing, kind of like in my another doll that I want is I always see them, and like a tan Celine and tan Chloe. They are so beautiful. I just love them. I think they're so gorgeous. But sculpt wise, I like the Supia dolls so much better. And if I could have the best of both worlds, having a Supia doll on the Feeple 60 body and be in tan, that would be amazing. So I don't know. I'll be interested to, when those dolls start coming out, maybe somebody will be able to show a comparison. So is there anything else I was going to show you guys? I think this video is pretty long. So new doll head. So there are a lot of dolls in the mail right now. My doll She Ray Lewis is, the head is on its way to the person I bought the body from. So when it gets to them, they'll send me the body and the head together. So the head is on its way to her, and she's in the UK. Nikaru is still out there somewhere. Dollzone Robin is, I haven't got the shipping notice, but Minton Card told me that he had arrived. So I'm sure he's going to be mailed anytime now. That's in the mail, or almost in the mail. So there's just going to be a lot of dolls flooding in here all at once. It seems like that's the way it happens. Like you try to spread things out. When I bought them spread out, but everything happens all at once. Oh well, I guess there's worse things, right? Okay, I am going to call it quits here and get some clothes on this lady. I hope you guys are having a great week. I am wishing I had another day. Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye-bye. Long Soul. My tan Long Soul Thunderbolt body is on its way. And I bet you he will be here. He might be here tomorrow, actually. But maybe Saturday, because he was mailed yesterday or the day before yesterday. So he'll be here anytime. Okay, bye for reals. Bye.